I'm gonna tell you what, McNuggets. Is it bad that after hearing Zach Jackson, I'm accelerating my game plan for playing? I I need to. I just talked to the Browns financing and county departments, and I need one of these, either third or fifth. I don't
To
care
hit.
which one it is.
They got
We
it.
gonna make them hit. Like
Yeah.
I don't care if I gotta get my best plays out. I
Yeah.
don't know. We gonna because think about it, man. Like I need those picks.
Yeah.
I can't.
You can't afford to, and that's why taking two or even two running backs. No, and listen, Sampson and Judkins can both turn out to be really good. They so desperately need a tackle that to take a second running back over any addition to the offensive line, as good as Sampson's been through 2 weeks, just feels like a miscalculation because DeJuan's under contract next year. Do you know who's not? Bitonio, Pocic, Teller,
Everybody.
Conklin.
Everybody
So-
in the
and
St.
that-
Louis voice.
And by the way, that's where we're going with this next topic. Zach kind of touched on it, but we have to address the offensive line in a big picture here. G, Dustin, I am beyond fascinated what you guys think about this. Is the offensive line and its deterioration from where we thought it would be to start the season, which all of us and a lot of media outlets, including PFF, NFL Network, ESPN, had them rated as a top half of the league. Right in that 9 to 12 range was pretty much the consensus offensive line in the league. And through 2 weeks, they have graded out as one of the bottom 4 offensive lines in football, mainly because the tackles, DeJuan and Cornelius Lucas, have been bad. Let's just call a spade a spade. They've been bad. Is the deterioration of the line in whole due to age, scheme, or because Flacco can't move, it's making it look 10 times worse than it actually is? Dustin,
Well, it's a combination of all those things, obviously. I think probably more than most, it's the mobility or lack of mobility of Flacco. That doesn't help things. You know, when you these guys are used to blocking for more mobile quarterbacks. Most quarterbacks, whether it be in college or in this league, can move better than Joe Flacco. And then on top of that, you got guys that are limited with just their physical play. Like they're just not good enough. I mean, you got a 36-year-old dude who's been a career backup playing at right tackle. That's not to say that he's not. You know, he's in the league.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's
one of the best in the
best
world
in the
to do
universe.
it. But unfortunately, he's at the bottom end of this league,
Yeah.
right? You know, he's a backup. You know, and he's been forced in there. DeJuan's, as Zach had kind of pointed out there, has not performed to the level that we thought that he would perform after kind of reshaping his body and coming back this year and refocusing his attitude, all those things. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's just Joel Bitonio is getting old. You know, Conklin's not playing. He's hurt. Like, it's just.
I'm worried about Conklin, by the way.
It's bad, man.
I meant to ask Zach and Badge about it. I forgot. I heard from somebody that the elbow injury is pretty serious. Like, this is not it's just a little banged up. I'm not sure if that's 100% right. We'll see what happens. But if he can't go and he's out for a prolonged period of time, we have to see Lucas and Jones as your 2 bookends. It's not going to be pretty, G.
Yeah, let me tell you something about being a large man. When you are, that was crazy.
Just the way you said that was.
That was
waiting.
crazy.
Yeah.
You was like, G. Bush, say something after that.
The tone of his voice changed. Yeah.
You're a little ambiguous right now. When you alignment, your body always hurts. At all times it hurts. Your knees hurt. You get out of bed and you're like, I don't know how I'm going to play today. And the greatest relief in your life is like the one day you realize that, hey, I don't have to lift heavy weights anymore. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to put my hands on another man that's just as large as me and is more physical and is stronger and just as I'm in a phone booth with these dudes 24 hours a day and your body is beat up. Now look, when Joe Bitonio thought about not playing anymore, that means it's a wrap. When you contemplate, like I always laugh and joke, when you and your wife can actually tell each other the word divorce, when y'all say it verbally, it's all downhill from there because you got to mentally prepare for it. Now all you got to do is the action is gonna follow it. Now, but you got to first visualize it and contemplate that. So Joel is trying to make it. He ain't out here trying. He not getting better every day. He's maintaining. DeJuan Jones ain't figured it out yet. You got dudes trying to figure it out, and then you take a look at Bitonio, or excuse me, Teller and Conklin. they've had nagging injuries for the last 5-6 years. And when they play as physical as they used to play, 2020, 2021, that take years off the tire. But there is a couple of things, and it's just not them. It also goes to the quarterback. The quarterback, is a statue at this point. If you get Joe Flacco to move off his spot, you got him. It's a wrap. Them are sacks. Plus the scheme is not creative enough. Like you said, Matt LaFleur is moving guys around to get angles and to get levels. I just need a couple. I want to hold the backside defensive end for just a second, and then boom, we got this. Angles to it. The Browns, to me, are simply lining up, trying to run straight at people. No, that is not what they are right now. They better use misdirection. They better have some eye candy here or there, keeping the linebacker steady. They got to get creative, and that's what you're going to have to see. Because they're not just good enough to run straight at you, and then you ain't got Chubb and Hunt. Like, you got to think back then. And Dearness Johnson was nice.
Yeah.
And Dearness Johnson was a slash cutback dude. The Browns, go back and watch this. Go back and watch the Cleveland Browns. I watched it 2 days ago to figure out whether or not this offense line what it was. Go back and watch the Cleveland Browns versus the Dallas Cowboys at Dallas. And watch the way Nick Chubb carves them up. And then he gets hurt in that game.
Is that the Odell reverse touchdown?
That's the Odell reverse touchdown game. And then Hunt comes in and carves them up. Go back and watch the Denver Broncos game where Case Keenum played and Dearness Johnson had 100+ yards. That ain't coming back no more. They got to get creative in it. They got to figure a way to kind of manufacture some yards. Mm-hmm. Hopefully Judkins can make some guys miss.
I think another part of it is the interior is veteran-laden, right? Teller's been around forever. Bitonio is on his, he was drafted in 2013 or 2014. He's on his 10th, 11th year. They're having to help out the tackles so much in terms of the assignments that I think it's taking a toll on their actual performance as well. Now, if you look at the PFF grades, and once again, PFF's not perfect, but when you're comparing lineman to lineman across the league, I can't watch every offensive line.
Right.
So what we got. The guards both ranked in the top 20 in terms of all guards in football. Both Bitonio and Teller have graded out well. And the tackles, it's not good. Dewan is literally 90th out of 94 qualified tackles on PFF. Cornelius Lucas has graded fine in pass pro. He's in run blocking. He's been not good in pass pro. I go back to when I played basketball, right? If you have a big, like especially my senior year, we had a freshman big who didn't know where to be. I'm spending half my time making sure he's in the right spot. Mm-hmm. And my focus is now taken away from dissecting the defense. How are they guarding? What's their coverage? If Bitonio and Teller are so adamant each play of, hey, Cornelius, remember we're double teaming this guy. You're moving up to the second level of defense. Or, hey, if they stunt here, I'm taking on this defender. You got this defender. Your focus isn't on what you're actually trying to accomplish. And that's why I think some of their interior plays diminished a little bit. But they've both been solid enough that you can live with that. But when you have a statue at quarterback, I think a lot comes back to Flacco. And this is why I'll unwillingly agree with Jason that had everything gone according to plan, Pickett would have been the quarterback.
Right.
When you get pressure on the edge, Flacco's not taking advantage of the alleys that are now open by these edge rushers turning the corner and moving. He can only move up, but he's not escaping in any direction. He's literally stepped, and we saw him run for that 4-yard gain. It looked like we were watching, an Edius clip in 0.4 speed, like double slow-mo. I don't think he's able to escape any of the pressure, even when the line gets beat, but not beaten too quickly. There's opportunities to turn sacks and negative plays into mini positives. Instead of being 2nd and 14, it can be in 2nd and 8. But I don't think Flacco's capable of doing it, and I think it's making everything else look significantly worse. The offensive line has not played good. I am not saying they've played at a level to where that's acceptable, but I think Flacco's inability to move magnifies all of their shortcomings in a way that a more mobile quarterback can maybe hide a little bit.
And maybe we'll get there at some point with Gabriel if he gets in there. Shador late in the year, I think will probably play a little bit at some point when he's ready. But at this point in time, I don't know that those young guys are ready to go. And because of, we got the experience with Flacco, it's tough to – you're limited. I mean, you really are limited with what the guy can do. I mean, if Lamar Jackson were behind this offensive line, we wouldn't be talking about our offensive line.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
And that's why as a play caller, I think you got to do, like even on the defensive, defensive side, we used to we used to run a creative play called loop check. And basically we would all get up and run to the sideline, right? And the goal of the defense would be like, yo, run to the sideline, and we had a linebacker and a safety. Your boy, Rob Stover.
Rob Stover, 42.
Yeah, Rob Stover was the strong safety. We had a dude named Chuk. And we would just turn and run to the sideline, and we would run what we call the rope-a-dope technique. They would run front side and then sit backside. Our whole job as a defensive line was to make the ball cut back no matter what. If it meant running to the bench, whatever it was, and they would come and they would have Chuk sit backside, and Rob Stover would run off the edge, and we would just tackle people, and they didn't understand what we were doing. But the reason you do that is because we didn't have nose tackles that could take that type of punishment.
2-3 guys.
2-3 guys. They're like, our nose tackle is 280.
Yeah.
Nah, they ain't gonna get it done. Like, so they're like, we can't do that. So we created stuff to really scheme up and stop it. And if you're Stefanski, you know your tackles ain't no good. You know that. You've been watching the film. You've been self-scouting. You know if you ain't got no playmakers. So you're going to have to do your best to get in your lab. If you got to go to a college playbook, if you need to figure it out. Because in college, you don't have some of the same great tackles. You know, hey, listen, Texas Tech and some of them teams in the Big 12, they ain't got, and West Virginia, some of these, they don't have the elite tackle play or elite receiver play. But what you do got is I got a quarterback that can throw the ball. I got maybe one or two running backs and a few skill guys, and I'm going to just accentuate that. Maybe if you got to get creative with the way you move and do things, you can help them out a little bit. But the Browns can't come out against the Packers and just line up and run at them. It's not going to work. That ain't going to work.
Or pass block, which is 5.
Yeah.
I mean, you mentioned the chip and release strategy with Njoku. They've had backstride. We're going to see some. I think we're going to see some heavy personnel and try and use some of the extra tight ends, some extra backs, maybe even H-back. You have Fannin line up in certain situations to check and release to slow down this Packers pass rush that has Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, and
Who's underrated.
The second most sacks in the NFL as a team.
Maybe they'll find a way to get a package in for Gabriel this week, where it's not like he plays
right,
like the Giants did with Jackson Dart.
Yeah, I mean, just have something for him where it's like in a certain situation,
Different look.
You know, you got 5 plays for the guy.
Yeah,
you go or take a series. I don't know, something just to see if we can change something up and try to keep the defense on their heels. Obviously, the running game's got to develop, guys, because if it doesn't, as Zach had pointed out, I mean, defenses are so keen in on the fact that we're not running the ball, so they're going to tighten things up. We're not getting any not separation, but not getting ability to throw the football down the field, so you're not taking those chances. So why would they respect it?
Yeah.
At all. That's the only thing the Browns can do is hurt you, is that you give up big plays.
Yeah.
And if you hear everything in front of you, let them work the ball 40, 50 yards. We ain't worried about that. That's the tough part about it. That's the only thing that I think about when we talk about playing the rookies and playing them. Trust me, I'm you know where I stand. I would have been playing them already. They'd be like, yo, G. Bush is crazy.
It's a bad situation, but the NFL's not fair, man.
Yeah,
it's never an ideal situation.
It's like
they're not going to grow playmakers on trees by week 6, week 7.
Zach was right what he said. What they should be doing right now is being in a lab, understanding where the deficiencies of this car that they're going to drive. You know how you drive in your car and you go to DMV? You know that brake light is out. You know that rear mirror in the van is kind of, You got to figure that out right now. So when you get in the game, understand, I can't be down if somebody drop a football. That's the thing that Joe ain't going to do. Like, y'all drop the ball, you see no expression, nothing. Mm-hmm. You can't be pouting, no, you should have caught that. If you know Joe ain't got no time, what you think you gonna get?
Exactly. We're gonna move on in 1 sec. Before we do, what is a good yard per carry average in the NFL?
I think it's got to be over 4.
Over 4. All right. Well, here's a stat for you guys. I took out the fourth quarter of last week because there's a lot of garbage time in the fourth quarter. So through the first 7 quarters of the Browns season, the running backs are averaging 2.4 yards a carry.
Yeah, that's not good enough.
You're not gonna. You can run the ball 4 times at 2.4 yards per carry. You're not getting a first down.
Right.
It's 9.6. So simply not good
Woody
enough.
Hayes wouldn't like that.
If you can't run, it makes passing the ball a lot harder.